All right, everyone, welcome to this reading for Pluto moving into Aquarius in March of 2023. This is going to be a very pivotal month. I've done a couple of readings about Saturn moving into Pisces. Those are on the channel. I will put a little link below in the description box to help you find them. And I will do more as we do our comprehensive look into March 2023 this week and for each zodiac sign. But I have been talking about Pluto moving into Aquarius, and I know it's not happening till later in March, but I really want to prepare you for this because, yes, this will be a long and slow-moving transit. It's going to be, the next 20 years of our lives. But this next 3-month moment, this next 3 months in March, April, May of 2023 are going to give us kind of a foreshadowing of what is going to be on offer for the next 20 years for us. So it's a big deal. And March, because Saturn is moving into Pisces, we are going to have some pivotal change. And it's so interesting to me because I feel like we have been in this grinding kind of energy for the last, I'm going to say, maybe not 12 months, but definitely 9 months. And I think that's significant, the 9-month measurement, because I do think we're giving birth to a new way of being where it's not grinding us down or making us figure out how to jam ourselves into existing paradigms or people's expectations of us. It's much more sort of an energy of I'm going to go my own way, and that is going to be the mainstream. Everybody going in their unique direction is going to be mainstream. Now think about that for a second. How can that be possible if we're all sort of moving around in our own kind of freaky experiences? But for the next 20 years, transformation into our true authentic selves and allowing people to see that, allowing people to see our ideas, our thoughts, our feelings, our fears, all of these things are going to be normal, okay? And the word normal, I don't feel like the old definition of normal, meaning we're all aligned in one direction and, very 1950s kind of experience of everybody needs to look the same or have a certain kind of look or even have a certain kind of idea or a certain kind of belief. I don't believe that is going to be considered normal. All of us walking in the same direction. What is going to be considered normal, I don't think I like using that word, but what is going to be considered authentic, very different from the word normal, isn't it? What is going to be considered authentic is our true nature, our true feelings, our true ideas, and not being afraid to say what we think in fear of having it upset a certain kind of norm, okay? So as I did the poll for this, I do want to share with you some dates in this video of when we're going to be dealing with this year and then into next year, what I believe Pluto and Aquarius is really representing for us and how it may show up in our lives. So underneath the 2 cards I got, and they came out at the same time, 2 of Wands and the Judgment card. So the 2 of Wands is us really looking at our own interests and our own desires of what we want to create in our lives and having the courage to align ourselves with our spirit guides, our messages that are coming through for us, our own inner knowing, our own awareness of what is right and true for us. And that may serve to kind of break up some groupthink or some blocky kind of thinking, some blocky kind of awareness. I mean, it is a call to, right, with the Judgment card, it is like a calling. More people are going to be following their callings without fear of retribution or fear of being put down by a group. More people are going to be seeking, sort of radically unconventional ways of being in the world, and that feels good. Now, I will say that when we get into retrograde season this year in 2023, there is going to be some, we're going to move back into Capricorn. Pluto will move. We're right now at this 29 degrees, 0 degrees place, which is a very big transformative energy. The Denise Lynn deck, the cards that came out of the Denise Lynn deck were about breaking trail, great adventure, transformation. Those seem very in order to me. That you might have to break through a lot of your own conventional belief systems or other people's ways of being, other people's belief systems. And I feel like there won't necessarily be as much fear around that as there had been in the past. Now, when I'm talking about the retrogrades this summer, we are going to maybe feel a resurgence of the need to align with more people for safety. We might feel that. We might also feel that we're too exposed, or because we're drifting back into Capricorn, and Capricorn is very much, stay with the status quo and be in the energy of this is what we all do and this is how we all get successful. But if you really put that under a microscope, how we all get successful in this kind of herd mentality is going to make no sense to us at all. And that is likely to first show its head between March and May of this year. We are going to radically look at our assumption of, well, if we all do the same thing, we're all going to be successful. And I think you can see even now, with the beginning energy of Aquarius, that it's such a nonsense idea. If we all do the same thing. Now, this does reflect for me a little bit of what's happening on YouTube, that there's this flood, a flood of incoming people reading tarot. They're all kind of doing the same thing. They're all kind of posting the same thing. And it becomes this flood of vanilla, not specialized, not humanized, not personalized information. No disrespect to anyone who is truly on their path and reading tarot and doing astrology. But I do want to say that those who are seeking to gain success from those who have come before them in an ancestral kind of way, or in a, hey, that's working for them, so it's going to work for me kind of way, I think that's going to be shown to not be true. What is going to be true is, are you reading from a sort of inspired, connecting to your guides kind of way, or are you being in the vein of, hey, this is working for other people, so I'm just going to do it too, kind of thing? That's not going to work when Pluto moves into Aquarius. It has to be unique to you and to the wisdom that's coming through you. So breaking trail, there is going to be some kind of culling of anyone who's doing a thing in the world because it was working for another person, right? It has to be unique to you. So whatever is coming through for you, it's going to be increasingly more important that you align with your authentic beliefs, that you align with your wisdom that's coming through. If you feel like this is going to be important for you to do today, then you do it. If you feel like, well, I'm just kind of doing it because I have to do it, or somebody said I have to do it, then there's going to be increasingly more resistance to that kind of behavior. Breaking trail, great adventure, and transformational energy. A fresh new way of living emerges. More and more of us who are, sort of working along the path of authenticity and that can be anybody, in any, not just reading tarot and astrology, but like anything you're doing in the world, loving, living, guiding, teaching, being a humanitarian, being someone who takes care of children, being someone who is looking out for human rights. Anything that's an Aquarian kind of energy is really going to be heightened as long as it's authentic to you. Okay? So in the spread, what's very interesting about this spread is the first three cards from top to bottom are the past. King of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, and the Four of Wands. Now these are lovely, optimistic, not healing, but stable, all right? Stable kinds of energies. And I feel like stability is going to have a new definition. Stability in the past, the last 20 years or 15 years, I think, of Pluto being in Capricorn, it was showing us, and it was very, very powerful in Capricorn. It liked being in Capricorn, for the most part. We do see that creating stability, the Capricorn energy. How is transformation, Pluto energy, really supported? By creating something that is super stable and solid, that there's a known quantity to it. King of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, Four of Wands. Very, I get this known quantity. You know, not what you see is what you get, which is more Aquarian, but what is a tried and true method of success, a tried and true method of gaining happiness or something like that. I don't actually think it created happiness. I think it created stability, which are not the same things. Now, I feel like we're moving into a place where we get to say what is happiness for us, what is stable for us, what feels good to us. And I think there's a lot of people who have enjoyed stability and anchoring in, like the King of Pentacles. This can also go to the billionaire class of amassing wealth. I don't feel like that's going to serve them well in the next 20 years. I feel like they're going to see that, amassing something that we all collectively have to give value to. The only reason the dollar, the pound, the euro, any kind of thing, art, any, paintings and sculptures, even, which are based on Aquarian ideas of unique expressions of someone's talent. But anything that we all have to agree to is valuable, like a currency, is going to be changing. We are not going to need to all agree on what's valuable anymore. What we do kind of all agree on what is valuable is what is unique to each one of us. Now that is a sea change. The next level of this, Five of Wands, that looks like struggle to me. The Moon is about fear, and the Six of Pentacles. Those who are trying to hold on to the old currency or the old methodology or the old thing that has been deemed valuable in the past. If you're still going to give value to that, of amassing money or creating some kind of stability that is of the past, that is going to feel increasingly less stable. And I have been feeling that over the course of January and February, when we're really in a tying up kind of mode, a tying up kind of fashion. The Five of Wands is everyone's on the same playing field and we're all battling for a hierarchical position. And I think the true nature, and what I've learned here in Costa Rica over the last week, the true nature of what is valuable is what is bringing to the forefront your emotions, your feelings, your heartfelt energies, your unique creative expression. A renaissance of our creative expression. And the moon card can be, a lot of people might find this frightening or in some way destabilizing because they haven't had to be unique. They haven't had to strike out on their own and make content, art, some kind of expression. They haven't had to do that. This is a group, I don't know if you have ever been in the experience of being in a corporate boardroom, not boardroom, but like a conference room and a meeting with a bunch of people. And, I was working for a creative agency. And so it was common and not common. It was common and it was also rebelled against. But in those conference rooms, I remember my boss, Connie, who's one of the most wonderful people on the planet. She and I definitely played, corporate bullshit bingo, which is basically like we had, these phrases that would come out in meetings. And I don't even remember them. That's how long ago this was in my life. But, any type of buzzwords in the corporate culture, any type of, let's think on this, let's group think about this, or let's align with our paradigms, or any kind of phrases that really don't mean anything, but that we all gave meaning to, are going to disappear. So the collective language is going to be made fun of, like when we did with corporate bullshit bingo. She and I would sit in those meetings and we would check off the phrases that would come out of people's mouths that really didn't mean anything. It was just for them to look like they were some kind of smart person, or that they had some kind of corner on what the group should be doing. It was a very egoic and nonsensical way of communicating with a group of people as we're working on a project together. It was almost like making other people feel like they weren't as smart or weren't as aware. And it was such a debilitatingly foolish thing to do, when what would have been more authentic is for us to move away from buzzwords and hierarchies and authentically align with each one of our creativity, and then let people show their uniqueness. That's where true genius comes from. And when you're supportive of that and not being critical of it because, we're not all in alignment, are we? And all of this. Those who want to stay in that corporate bullshit bingo world of using terminology and phrases, key learnings is one that comes to mind. We used to talk about key learnings all the time. And I would always be like, can we just say what we learned? Do we have to use this phraseology all the time? It seemed like a layer of paint that didn't matter. Those of you who have been lurking in the shadows and being your quirky self and being tolerated by those who were in alignment with this kind of hierarchical bullshit bingo kind of world, now you are the leaders. Okay? Pluto moving into Aquarius really aligns with that. And the final three cards in this first part of this reading, Eight of Wands, Page of Pentacles, and Justice. This is a balancing out. This is a time of balancing out when people who were really in that place of trying to make other people feel stupid or not sort of in leadership or not aware of what they were talking about when they were using these idiotic phrases. Now, when the ideas flow through to you, it is directly on offer from your guides, from your connection to God, to move into your unique creativity. Okay, so let me just say this. I like the Page of Pentacles there because that says I'm able to learn something new without it destabilizing who I think I am. A lot of people are in the place of, I know who I am, and the rest of you, good luck to you because I'm the one who's conquered the mountain. they're going to be like, oh, wait, where did everybody go? Okay? So Pluto in Aquarius, it does move pretty slowly. So over the next 20 years, this is a generational planet. It is a fixed air sign, right? We want to be in control intellectually. It represents the beginning of a communal tech revolution. All right, the last time this happened was in the late 1700s when they invented the cotton gin, when the French Revolution happened. So when Pluto moved into Aquarius the last time, 200 and X years ago, we were creating those revolutions. We were writing the Bill of Rights and codifying it into law. It's been very hard working through this Capricorn energy because it was stunting our growth. It was holding us back. This is a turning point month where we're going to seek liberation through our radically unconventional means, our ideas. We're creating a new dawn of the tech age. That is going to be massively important. Many more platforms like YouTube will be born. Many more places for you to be unconventional and show your art or show your livelihood or show your love, show your joy, your poetry, your any kind of creativity. You are going to be able to do it in this next 20-year period. So what's even more interesting to me, I find it hard to believe that there's something more interesting than Pluto in Aquarius, but Pluto moves into Aquarius March 23rd, right around the equinox. And that, my friends, is some super powerful energy. The equinox, the balancing of the day and night. That's why justice is there. It's the balancing, the rebalancing of the creatives with the status quo. So I'm going to continue this reading. If you'd like to go in depth, I'm going to pull cards for each zodiac sign to get a sense of what might be happening for you just in this next 3 months. But this next 3 months is a foreshadowing of what's to come in the next 20 years. So if you want to continue with me, there's a link in the description box below. I will see you over there.